plastic products factory since 1985. Plain chairs, silks, wicker, guides, ribbons, and ferrules are manufactured here. If I had the ability to make any type of mold, I could offer almost any number of plastic products.
Well, everything is done to simplify the work done with the milling machine using the EDM. Yes, because there are things that can't be done with a milling machine. For example, the figure here of the map of Venezuela can't be made with a milling machine. Unless it's a CNC milling machine, right? But the EDM machine, right? This one takes a few steps. Simpler than what the CNC machine requires.
In 1994, Edwin Peñaranda proposed carrying out this project. As part of his thesis for his degree in electronic engineering at Fermantora University.
I said yes, I can, although several colleagues no, and even professor said, you have to do something that gives you time, don't start making things up, and all that stuff too. It's always reminding the halls of any university. Well, in my opinion, I said, if I want to do something, why wouldn't I do it? I don't care what others say. And then to make this machine, there had to be 7 disciplines which are seen in this overview, because there could be more. There is electronics and there is software that is also subject to copyright. It has the mechanics, it even has hydraulics. We have the motherboard, which is the brain, and the power part, which would be the heart. What is the transformer? Because in this machine the operating principle is that its working tool is the electrical discharge. The transformer must have a good capacity to deliver the required power or current levels required for the job and be suitable for the motherboard's electronics. Because control is precision, the workhead requires a lot of precision. Then from there it's broken down into other modules. In my thesis, I specified that the machine has about 9 modules, but generally, as I already mentioned.
For his first tests, he made a mold of the map of Venezuela and another of the Divine Shepherdess, through whose reproduction and sale he managed to recover part of his investment. But this first model is somewhat rudimentary. The machine can be improved. In 2010, Edwin obtained funding from the National Science and Technology Fund (FONACIT) through the National Technological Inventiveness Support Program for the manufacture of the second prototype.
Edwin Peñaranda was an innovator who started out as both he and his father owned a mechanics shop. And he, as an electronics engineering student, also has knowledge of mechanics. Well, he began to create what is now the EDM machine. He presented that proposal to the ministry, and it was actually accepted right now. It's at the Engineering Institute. They're testing this machine for validation.
The EDM machine greatly simplifies the work, eliminates many steps of the milling machine, really, because it eliminates the work of making holes and then making inserts on everything that is circular, like. As you can see in this piece, an electrode can be made, it is engraved, and there is no need to make false eyelets, thus avoiding false eyelets always. They produce burrs, but here they would be directly on the material. This is one of the advantages of EDM machines. Among so many benefits it has.
This doesn't require introducing a program because it already has one empirically. We saw it at the university, an expert system as an expert system for mold making and empirical data stored in a microcontroller that I have installed as a brain then. According to the dimensions shown in the user interface here, the electrode dimensions are only set with 3 parameters. I'll explain later how the electrode is made and the working area of the steel or metal you'll be using because it can engrave and how this machine works. It is suitable for engraving on any metal, from aluminum or softer alloys to the most tempered steel.
Electrical discharge machining is a manufacturing process. Also known as electrical discharge machining, the process uses an electrode, so that it is placed very close to the part, generating an electric arc between both elements with the aim of causing a gradual increase in temperature. This can reach up to 20,000 degrees Celsius, thus removing particles from the workpiece to reproduce the shapes of the electrode.
She relies on an element called an electrode tool wrecker. At least here we have one. I make it by hand. The electrode must already be made. At least with this electrode I use a 3.1 millimeters thick copper plate, which is enough to make a mold matrix of 5 cavities. Even with this one I can still make up to 7 to more, and well, once the mold is made, that mold as such, it's used. They're placed in plastic injection machines, and then the product is mass produced. Okay, then. This is one of the main functions of this type of sinker EDM machine technology.
The machine, above all, is a specialist in working in metal molds that neither a milling machine nor a cut-off saw can make, but can be made by an EDM machine made by the innovator Edwin Peñaranda. Sometimes it's difficult to find a metal part for a car or a machine, and this part can be made by this EDM machine. So it is important that not only the Ministry of Science and Technology helped him with what is. The subsidy for this machine can help with many problems, not only in terms of car parts or machine parts, but also make different types of molds.
The electrode machine is a very necessary machine for workshops where work is done or repairs are made, especially for machinery. Yes, since sometimes a hole needs to be made in a hardened piece and it cannot be done with a drill bit, it has to be done with an erosion machine. Can the problem be solved? Then it would be in all small workshops, a machine that was affordable. Yes, and could be manufactured in the country would solve many problems for those small workshops.